Four of Wands. The Four of Wands often indicates that you may be attending a special event, one which will be way more fun than you are anticipating. So, go and have a good time. Business is also likely to be going very well at this time. You will be proud of yourself, and others will be proud of you. General, although this is a very positive card in a reading, it shows also a need to keep your wits about you, that although you deserve and should treat yourself to some fun, but know that you are still in a building up phase and now is not the time to rest completely on your laurels. This card can also sometimes mean that you will be moving your place of residence. Work. Things are probably going very well for you work-wise. Still, whatever you do, don't take this initial success for granted and feel like it will all be smooth sailing from here on out. Yes, you've earned your success and some kudos, and some fun and some time off too, but don't forget that you will have to continue to strive to stay on top and to continue to grow and stretch yourself. It's exactly like playing King of the Mountain when you were a kid. Once you got on top, you might have been able to catch your breath for a minute, but the next thing you knew you were fighting to stay at the top. Love. When it comes to love, this card can indicate that your relationship is about to become a whole lot more committed, up to and including a potential marriage. If you're looking for love, it shows that special events, wedding, bar and bat mitzvahs, commitment ceremonies, etc., are a good place to meet someone special now. If you get invited to something like this, and are single, make a point to go. Finances. Your finances are likely in good shape and are also likely to get a whole lot better. However, this will be as a result of your hard work, and not something like pure luck like a lottery win. Have faith in yourself and keep trying. You will reap positive rewards. Health. If you're waiting on results from a test, you are likely to soon be celebrating positive news. If there is something that has been bothering you health-wise and you've not been able to find a solution, know that there is help available for you. Be persistent in trying to find that help. Spirituality. If your friends and family don't agree with your spirituality, don't let that bother you. You see things the way that you do for a reason. Be open to considering the input of others, but know that ultimately you must, and have a right to, make up your own mind. Tarot history. The history of the tarot is shrouded in mystery. Very little in the way of concrete information is known about its origin, although many things have been written about it. We will probably never know the truth, as fact and fiction seem to be irrevocably mixed nowadays. The tarot originated in northern Italy in the early 15th century, sometime between 1420 to 1440. Despite the fact that it is often attributed to originating from China, Egypt, India, or Morocco, to name just a few, there is absolutely no evidence that this is the case. Nor, as is often quoted, is there any evidence whatsoever that the tarot was brought to Europe by the Romanis. The name tarot is often attributed to being Egyptian, Hebrew, or Latin. This is not the case. The earliest names are all Italian in origin. The cards were originally called carte de triomphe. Around 1530 the word tarocchi began to be used to differentiate them from a new game of triumphs that was in vogue at the time. The etymology of this new word is unknown. The German variant was known as tarot and the French tarot. The symbolism for the tarot is drawn from the culture of medieval and Renaissance Europe. The tarot subjects are distinctive to European Christendom. The symbolism does not come from Egypt or any of the other exotic locales often mentioned. It is often stated that modern-day playing cards evolved from the tarot. This is not the case. Modern-day playing cards came to Europe courtesy of Islam. They were an adaptation of the Islamic Mamluk cards. They appeared quite suddenly in many different European cities between 1375 and 1378. These early cards had suits of cups, swords, coins, and polo sticks, and courts consisting of a king and 2 male underlings. The tarot adds the Fool, the trumps, and a set of queens to this system. Sometime before 1480, the French introduced cards with the now familiar suits of hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. The Joker is not original to either the early form of modern-day cards, or to the tarot, but instead originated in the USA around 1857 and was used as a wild card in poker as well as the highest trump in euchre. It is also often stated that the Catholic and Protestant churches outlawed the tarot and all who used it in an effort to stamp out so-called heretical teachings. This is not the case. The Inquisition documented what the Church considered as evidence of heresy in great detail. The tarot was not even mentioned. After the Reformation, less controversial images for the Pope and Papess were substituted by card makers as the Church had objected to the original images. It is often said that the tarot was not used as a divination tool prior to 1781. The tarot was used as early as the 16th century to compose poems describing personality characteristics. There is historical evidence that in one case at least these verses were presented as relating to the person's fate. In other words, divination. Divinatory meanings were assigned to the tarot in Bologna in the early 1700s, and this is the first unambiguous evidence of tarot divination. Ordinary playing cards were connected with divination as early as 1487. It is not unreasonable to think that the tarot was also. The tarot has often been attributed with being a pillar of Western esoterica occultism. This is certainly not the case. The first occult writers to discuss the tarot were Court de Gabellin and the Comte de Melot in 1781. The tarot was not mentioned in any occult work for the first 350 years of its existence. The terms Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, High Priestess, and Hierophant are anachronistic when referring to the older tarot decks. The historically appropriate terms are the Trumps and the Fool, the suit cards, Papess or Popess, and Pope. Likewise, Pentacles and Wands are relatively recent substitutions for the traditional suit names of coins and staves or batons. The original Italian titles of the cards were in some cases different from the later French titles that have become familiar to us through the Tarot de Marseille and its descendants. Also, the ordering of the trumps varied considerably in Italy where the cards originated. It is not known which ordering is the earliest one. Even the number of cards in the deck varied a great deal. So care should be used in making statements about the original meaning of the cards based on the familiar titles and ordering. Many believe that the Waite-Smith Tarot is the original, standard, or most authentic tarot deck in existence. This is absolutely untrue. The Waite-Smith/Rider-Waite deck was created in 1909. Not even 100 years ago, making it a relative newcomer in the almost 600-year history of the tarot. There is actually no definitive version of the tarot.